This video is made possible by Silent X Design. Stick around to the end of the video to see how you can pick up a hoodie today. With him being dropped at the end of the season for Sergio Perez, Alex Albon's F1 future has remained uncertain. But what happened to him? How did we get here? And will he ever be back in Formula 1? Let's do what we always do and look back on his junior career and open the file on the curious case of Alex Albon. Born Alex at... Nope, I'm done. Born on March 3rd, 1996 in London, he was immediately introduced to motorsport through his father, Nigel Albon, who was a British touring car and Porsche Carrera Cup driver. Alex started karting competitively in 2006 in the Super 1 National Honda Cadet Championship. He would win the championship and come back the following year and finish runner-up. Around this time, he was contacted by Red Bull Thailand and became part of the Red Bull Junior program. In 2008 until 2010, he raced in the KF3 class. During this time, Alex would win in the Kart Masters British Grand Prix, Formula Kart Stars Master Championship, KF Winter Series, Super 1 National KF3 Championship, CIK FI Karting World Championship, CIK FI European Championship. So, yeah, lots and lots to win in. In 2011, he would compete in the KF1 class in the WSK Euro Series and the CIK Series, finishing runner-up in both. In 2012, he would take a step up into single-seaters and move into Formula Renault 2.0 with Epic Racing. This year would ultimately turn out horribly, with Alex finishing 38th out of 49 and getting dropped by the Red Bull Junior team at the end of the year. Coming out of that horrible year, he re-entered Formula Renault with KTR. In 2013, he had a decent year compared to... God, that was a freaking horrible bit. He finished with 22 points at the end of the season, so decent improvement. In the next year, he got his act together and picked up 3 podiums on his way to 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. In 2015, the French team Signature Racing scooped him up and placed him in the European F3 Championship, partnering a guy with the coolest name in motorsport. Dorian Bakulaki. Along the season, he picked up 5 podiums to finish in 7th in the championship. At the end of the year, he would take part in a postseason test with ART Grand Prix with their GP3 car. ART saw something that not a lot of us saw. They promoted him to their GP3 team alongside Charles Leclerc, Norei Fukuzumi, and Nick de Vries. But in this series, Alex was a different animal, fighting his ART teammate Charles Leclerc for the title all the way until the last round. No one expected this type of performance, not even Alex himself. And the next year, he was promoted to ART's Formula 2 team alongside Nobuharu Matsushita. The whole year, he was generally outpaced by his Japanese teammate and didn't really have the same pace he had in GP3. He got only 2 podiums and ended up finishing in P10 in the championship, 4 places behind his teammate. In 2018, Dams announced that they would sign the Tybrit to a round-to-round contract, and in the second round of the championship in Baku, he wouldn't make them regret it, taking not only his maiden pole, but also his maiden win. This would start a trend, and he would take 2 more poles, 8 podiums, and 4 wins, solidifying himself in P3 in the championship. At the end of the year, he didn't have the budget to compete in Formula 2 anymore, and no F1 teams were calling, so Dams put him in their Formula E team, Nissan E-Dams. But at the end of the 2018 season, Brendan Hartley was dropped by Toro Rosso, and Alex got the call from Dr. One Eye and was given the race seat partnering Daniel Fiat. His 2019 season would start well with the great performances in China and Hungary, but Pierre Gasly was struggling in the senior team, Red Bull. And just before the Belgian Grand Prix, Alex was given a chance of a lifetime to drive for the senior team, replacing Gasly, and he would have a great debut going from P17 to P5. He had more great performances in places like Sochi, where he went from the pit lane to P5, or like in Brazil, where he was fighting for P2 until Hamilton thought his rear wing needed some readjustments. Red Bull loved what they were seeing and re-signed him for 2020. In the opening round in Austria due to COVID-19, Alex had a dream race. He was sitting in a podium position and all he needed to do was bring the car home. But a late safety car changed the whole race, and an excellent pit strategy saw Alex on softs against Hamilton and Bottas on old hards. Alex made his move, but then...
Albon is all over the back of Hamilton, who once again forces in the long way round. Norris goes the long way round on Perez.
No, not
and
again.
Albon again, no, with Lewis Hamilton. He's lost out once more, as it was in Brazil. He comes off second best. The cars touch, and the podium that looked a certainty has been wiped out in a matter of seconds.
Alex would recover, and his early season went really well, but the later rounds he struggled in races like Portugal, where he was actually lapped by his teammate, or in Imola, where he spun out in points contention. Even though he took 2 podiums, including his maiden podium, it just wasn't enough, and the announcement finally came at the end of the season when he was replaced by Sergio Perez for 2021. If you want more in-depth explanation about this move, check out the video I made about it, link in the description. Other than being given a reserve role at Red Bull, he was also given a DTM seat alongside Liam Lawson. So now to answer the question, will he ever be back? I do think it's possible. With reports saying Gasly will move to Alpine and is unhappy with the Red Bull situation, I definitely think it's possible for him to get back on the grid for 2022. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And like last week, to end it off, here's an ad read. This video is made possible by Silent X Designs. They're a great company that make high quality clothing and racing gear. If you ever want to support the channel, head over to silentxdesigns.com and use code UPSHIFT for 10% off. That is www.silentxdesigns.com and use code UPSHIFT for 10% off. It really helps me out. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!